Let's dive into the core ideas from Harv Eker's Secrets of the Millionaire Mind to tackle a huge question. Why is it that some people get rich, while so many others just seem stuck in a lifelong financial struggle?
You ever feel like this? You read all the books, you go to the seminars, you learn about real estate, stocks, whatever, but nothing really changes. You might get a little burst of motivation, but then poof, you're right back where you started. So what's really going on here?
Well, Harv Eker argues that the problem isn't the information you're learning. Those are just the tools. The real problem, it's your toolbox, which is, you guessed it, your own mind. If your mind isn't programmed for success, you could have the best tools in the world and they'd still be totally useless. So what is this big internal roadblock? Eker calls it the missing link between wanting to be successful and actually achieving it. Let's dig into what he means.
You know, this wasn't just some theory for Eker. He lived it. He was obsessed with becoming a success, and he started a bunch of businesses in his 20s. He worked his tail off, but his results, as he puts it, went from dismal to worse. He could see other people succeeding in the exact same businesses while he was still completely broke.
Then everything changed. A super wealthy friend of his dad gave him this one piece of advice. He said, look, rich people just think in a totally different way than poor and middle-class people. And that was the light bulb moment. If you want to get rich, you've got to learn to think like a rich person.
Okay, so how do we actually learn to think differently? It all starts with understanding a really important concept that Eker calls your money blueprint. Think of it like this. Your money blueprint is basically a preset program that's already running deep in your subconscious mind. It's on autopilot, and it is the main thing dictating your entire financial life.
Eker uses a brilliant analogy for this, a financial thermostat, right? If the thermostat in your house is set to 72 degrees, the room is always going to find its way back to that temperature. Well, in the same way, if your financial blueprint is set for, say, $50,000 a year, you will subconsciously sabotage yourself, miss opportunities, make bad decisions, just to get back to that income level.
Now here's the mistake most of us make. We look at our results, our bank account, our income, our debt, and we don't like what we see. Eker says this is like looking at the fruits on a tree and being really unhappy with them.
But the fruits are just the outcome, aren't they? The real power, the thing that actually creates the fruit, is the roots. This is the absolute core of the book. If you want to change the visible things in your life, you have to first change the invisible, your inner world, your programming.
So where in the world did this blueprint even come from? We weren't born with it, nope. It was programmed into us, mostly when we were just little kids. Eker calls this the process of manifestation. Here's how it works. Your past programming leads to your thoughts. Your thoughts then lead to your feelings. Those feelings drive your actions. And finally, your actions produce your results. The big takeaway here is so important. To permanently change your results, you can't just change your actions. You have to go all the way back to the beginning and rewrite that initial programming.
All right, now for what is probably the single most important mindset shift you have to make to even begin rewriting that programming. It's all about understanding the difference between being a creator and being a victim.
This is wealth file number 1. Rich people believe deep down that they are at the steering wheel of their own life. They believe they create their success. They create their mediocrity, and yeah, they create their struggles. Poor people, on the other hand, believe that life just happens to them. They see themselves as victims with little to no control. So how can you tell if someone's playing the victim? Eker gives us 3 giant clues. First up, blame. They blame the economy, the government, their boss, their parents, anyone and everyone but themselves. Second, justifying. They'll say things like, well, money isn't that important anyway. And third, complaining. When you complain, you are focusing on what's wrong, and guess what? What you focus on expands.
So here's the bottom line. You can be a victim or you can be rich, but you absolutely cannot be both. Eker puts it bluntly. Every time you blame, justify, or complain, you are slitting your financial throat. It's time to take your power back.
So, how do we actually start making these changes? How do we begin to rewrite our own financial story? It all starts with one simple but incredibly powerful first step.
You can't change a program if you don't even know it's running, right? That's why the first step is just awareness.
Simply by observing your own thoughts, your own habits, you start to see that invisible blueprint that's been running your life on autopilot for years. A great tool Eker gives us to start this reprogramming is using powerful declarations. So, for example, you would state out loud, with passion, "My inner world creates my outer world." When you repeat this, you're sending a powerful message straight to your subconscious, helping you to truly internalize the idea that your outside world is just a reflection of your inside world.
And that leaves us with one last really crucial question. If your bank account, your career, your entire financial situation is just a printout of your inner blueprint, what story is it telling? What does your printout say about your programming? And are you ready to rewrite it?